All right. Hello and welcome to Smoking Underground in the My Father Lounge and Studio. I am Devin, and we rehired back Mr. Gary.
That's a clone.
Oh, is it? Did we check the bottom of his lip?
I'm translucent over here.
We shaved Dolly the sheep.
That's true. This is the clone of Gary.
Yeah, I'm a green screen.
Gary B. We're going to call him Gary B. instead of because Gary A is
Gary 2.0.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2.0.
no.
Well,
We
maybe
got
it's Gary version 1.1.
Oh,
Gary version 1.0.
oh, let's
Still not any better than the
yeah.
original.
Nope, it's not. It ain't, man.
So we're having a good time today. For everybody out there in the wide world joining us, thank you. Please make sure to hit that like, share, subscribe. Throw some love up there. Pound it. That's what she said. And comment. We'd love for you to comment, even if you just wave, put a smiley face, something.
Something.
Put
anything,
a comment. Let us know you're alive.
Anything.
How you doing, Gary?
I'm doing good now. Pulling out of the clouds.
You mean out of the test tube?
Yeah, well, that too. But
Gary B.
yeah, I had a little incident happen last week there that put me under the weather.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing,
That's
brother.
what I'm saying. I'm glad to be back here. Everything's good. Glad to be back on 280 with all the traffic and all the hoo-ha.
Isn't it great?
And the lounge is packed.
Yeah, we got a lot of people out there.
My God, there has got to be, I bet there's 30 people in that lounge.
I wish that guy who said he was going to sing for us would come in here and sing.
Man, oh
I could go grab him.
Jesse,
Go get him. Tell him if he
Jesse.
wants to sing. We got
Jesse.
microphones.
Jesse, yeah. You won't get it back.
So
Yeah.
let's hop right into it after John. How you doing, buddy?
I think I'm doing fabulous.
Fabulous.
Well, you're looking that way.
Oh, no.
Don't go that. way.
I'd rather look good than feel good.
Oh,
I learned that off Saturday Night Live 30 years ago.
Hey, look, it's my alter ego. Which, by the way, that is not me commenting.
Are you sure?
Yes, he's a friend of mine
Okay.
who we have the same exact name. What's up, my friend?
There's two.
I promise that is not me.
Is that your brother from another mother?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
Or the same mother, since it's the same?
Oh, geez.
I'm Arca Fire Gaming, and he's Fate Rise Gaming.
Oh,
So there you go.
all right.
Devin's parents were very creative when
Oh,
naming their sons.
Oh my.
That's the daughter too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Devin. I am a separate Devin.
Oh,
That's
I
right.
am a separate Devin.
So, what are we smoking
Oh,
tonight?
I ain't got a clue.
Oh,
Cigars?
Cigars? Not
Again.
wacky tobacco?
No, not tonight. The Indian tobacco will be saved for another time.
For legalization?
Yeah, for CBD and that type of stuff. We're gonna make it into vape.
Yeah.
We will broadcast from Colorado in the upcoming future.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Our days are going pretty good. Mine's been a pretty productive day. I was working like crazy. I kid you not. I probably was the authority, because I do this at work, on ordering over $500,000 worth of stuff.
Good Lord, son.
Yep.
Really?
Processed about 28 folders today.
Man, I hope there's a bonus in that.
There's not, no. I just get paid really well.
That's a good thing, right?
He's not telling you how much of that 500,000 he ordered for himself.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Every time I ordered paper clips at work, I ordered a box for me.
One for you,
Yeah.
two for me.
That's right.
One for you.
I get those
Printer ink, especially.
I get those paper
He's got a
clips
big
that
trunk,
are those paper clips that are plastic wrapped.
Yeah.
They have the nice like rubber around
That's
them.
right.
Oh, I get the little ones that are shaped like a dog.
And John and Gary here gets the ones that are shaped like a never mind.
With like a cigar.
Yes,
See,
sure.
that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
A
That's
cigar
fine.
with two bands at the bottom.
Oh Lord.
So what are we smoking
It's
today?
good to be back.
It is.
I
don't
have
light
no
this thing
idea. Oh, hey, we're doing a little Florida Americana tonight. LFD.
LFD.
Yeah, and it is going to be a good time. I like LFD. LFD is one of my favorites. I am a Dominican guy. I love Dominican tobacco.
I thought he said he was a Nicaraguan guy last
No,
time.
I like Nicaragua.
He's multinationality.
He's a tobacco
He's
guy.
very
is what
diverse.
it really comes down to.
I am. But Dominican has a sweet spot towards my heart. I enjoy the Fuente. I'm a Fuente nut. To be in the industry as long as I have,
Yeah.
I am still a Fuente guy. And everybody else is snozzing the Fuente, so whatever. They make some of the best tobacco out there. They've been there. They've done that. They sit at the top of the heap. They're the Alabama of, well, right now Georgia of the heap of the cigar industry.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
But anyway, La Florida Dominicana tonight.
Florida.
Yes, indeed, the flower of Dominican.
What's up, Aunt and Uncle? How you doing?
Yes. So I have I think we've got 3 different kinds tonight,
Yes.
don't we?
Yes.
So
And I purposely had Mr. Gary here select mine for me and not tell me much about it on purpose.
You're fixing to find out about it.
So we'll do mine last as far as what it is. You guys go ahead.
All right. And I think John's got one of my favorites over there too as well. So which he spotted after I picked mine out, and I was like,
I offered to trade Gary because I kind of like Gary's too, but we wanted to do different cigars.
Yeah, I am doing what they call a Reserva Special by La Florida Dominicana. Beautiful type cigar. It is a Colorado type wrap. In other words, it's sort of a brownish. It's a fancy way of saying brown. It has an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper on the outside. It has Dominican binder and filler on the inside, and it's seco. So that means it's sort of a medium type filler. So it's not real overbearing. It's not very powerful. But it has a lot of flavor to it.
Okay.
So it's
I noticed you got a cut down the side of it. Did you put something in it from Colorado?
No, well, yeah, kind of, but
Womp womp.
so it's okay to each his own. So, and John has a what they call an airbender. Airbender is Airbender's been around since 2010, I think it is. It was actually number 10 on the Cigar Aficionado list. Of 2010.
And it was an anime.
It could be. It's a good one. It's got some Cuban, it's got some Corojo, it's got Habano wrapper, it's got Dominican, it's got some good stuff all in that right there. It's a good mixture. And it smells delicious, aka the Airbender. It smells really good. It's got a nice aroma to it.
And it is the chisel tip.
Chisel tip too. Yeah,
Chisel tip.
And Devin will explain the chisel tip as his.
Yes, absolutely. Real quick, just so my aunt and uncle don't get confused, that is another Devin Brackett that
you better
we are
explain
good
that.
friends. That is not me.
Yeah.
He just has the exact same name.
Yeah.
Interesting factoid about that is we were talking about our family the other day, he and I on Discord.
Yeah.
And there is a pretty interesting chance, by the way, that he may be related to my branch of the Brackett family.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And he found me on Facebook one day. He was bored and typed in his own name.
Oh my God.
And I just happened to be a gamer, and it's been pretty cool.
Holy moly. I figured it might be. Mom, Dad, I got some news for you. Anyway.
So what am I smoking?
You are smoking, sir. Since you enjoy good flavor, we picked out a Chisel Maduro
A Giselle Maduro.
for you. It is a broadleaf Maduro on the outside, and it is full Lajero on the inside. Lajero, of course, if y'all don't know anything, of course, the plant is separated. Anyway, and the Lajero, of course,
Don't
Spanish
talk down to them.
Huh?
Don't talk down to them.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it's Lajero's comes from top of the plant. It's closer to the sun, therefore light. And the term actually came from Lito Gomez.
Okay.
And he is the author of that. He copyrighted that, so not a whole lot of people use it now, mainly because of that. So anyway, it may be light, but it is not light.
Okay.
It is.
You know how much I like the heavy stuff.
Yes, and this is the heaviest of the heaviest. It's the thickest leaf of Dominican, and you will like it. This is also a chisel tip too, and I think you're really gonna dig that. Sir.
So with a chisel tip, you just squeeze it and it pops open,
It
just
pops
like
open.
that.
There you go. Yep.
And strangely enough, I am not ashamed to admit it, I've never smoked a chisel tip. I don't know why. Never done it.
Okay.
So this will be a new experience.
You are in for a surprise, sir.
And my libation tonight,
what
which
are ya?
Gary was very happy with.
What are you?
Piggyback
Piggyback.
It's a rye. It's a 6-year, and
Look
it's
up
a
the
96 proof. 96.56 to be exact.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Had a bit of a nip there.
A little zinger.
And it was quite delightful, actually. So
Yeah.
You think that 1/4% additional alcohol really?
I don't think so. No. I think they just wanted to seem like they were.
They got a little bit better measuring
That's
device
right.
than the.
Somebody else
right.
came out with something that was 96. That's exactly the same. And they're like, well, ours is 96.56 and we already got it printed on the bottle and you don't.
and you don't.
Isn't there a song like 898.6? Like, is that Chicago?
No, was it 99?
Problems?
Yeah.
That's
Cigar
99
ain't
Luft
one.
balloons.
99. Oh, no, it's 99 by Toto. 99. No, 99 Red Bull. My God.
There he goes.
That's what I said.
That's funny. 99 Red Bull. Freaking A.
Woo. That's got a strong start.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I may need somebody to drive me home.
We're hoping Devin makes it through the show.
Ooh, boy. If you guys start seeing a yellow or an orange mark on his head right there from him laying his head down on the table, everything's fine.
No, I got a funny story about that. Was back when I worked in Georgia, right before I moved here in 2013, I worked at a mental hospital, hence the reason I can get along with these weirdos. And there was a cigar shop in the shopping center right across from it. And he would only he wouldn't stay open, but he would only let in, police, fire, and medical personnel. Well, he graciously let me come in there. And, I'd gone off of a 12-hour shift, got in there about 10:30, and I picked the darkest Padron I could possibly pick. I remember we were watching Big Shop of Little Horrors, or Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
That's the second week that movie's come up.
Yes. And I mispronounced it last time too. And I was halfway through. I was drinking some kind of whiskey. I don't even remember anymore. And about halfway through, every time I blinked, it was dizzy. And I went, I got to stop. I was lit. I just watched the rest of the movie lit. And I couldn't smoke anymore. I felt bad because he gave all of that to me for free.
Yeah, right.
And I couldn't finish it.
Similar story. I just started smoking cigars.
Yesterday?
Close.
Yeah.
But I went to a place over here. It's called Mountain Brook. Anyway, it's a little ritzy part of town. And I went into this place. And I went in the humidor, and I go in there. I get my CAO Extreme. Okay, CAO, of course, been around for a while. But anyway, CAO Extreme is their full-bodied line. And it's got some horsepower. So I put it on the counter, and he looks at me, and he looks down at the cigar. He looks at me, looks down at the cigar, and he says, "You been smoking long?" And I said, "Yeah, I have." Of course, the ego.
Right. You got to.
Up, said, "Yeah." And then he looks at me, and I could look the smirk on his face.
He's like, this guy's lying out of his butt.
Yep. And he says, "Okie dokie." He says, "All right." Yeah. He rings me up, puts it back there. I said, "Okay." I take this thing home, set out on the back deck. I'm smoking this thing like you got right there. And I'm like going, man, this thing's good. Full of flavor. Hadn't got a lot of spice to it, but it's got enough in the background. Man, it's titillating a palate big time. And I get about halfway down it. And I said, man, I ain't feeling so good. I ain't feeling good at all. I had to go back in the bedroom back there. The wife's gone, And I lay down on the bed, and it took 3 hours for that feeling to go away. And I said, no more.
You know what I found for the when you get cigar dizzy while drinking is I would lay down in bed afterwards, and if I lay down on my back and put my head back, it's painful. I don't know why. It's not great, dizzy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All I have to do is turn on my side. It doesn't bother me a bit.
How about
Isn't that weird?
It's weird.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know.
Other side.
I figured out the cure for it, I guess.
Hey, that's all right there.
That's coming from a guy, and I am not exaggerating, who's never had a hangover.
No.
Not a one.
Come on.
Never had a hangover.
Don't give me.
I'm a super metabolizer.
No, you're not.
I swear to God.
I've never really had a hangover. I do joke I've had one because that was when I was like 25 and I quit drinking. I was just drunk from 17 to 25.
Gotcha.
But no, I've really technically never had a hangover either. And
I have friends who talk about it.
used to drink.
I have friends who talk about it. They're like, I wake up with a migraine. Oh, it's so hard. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I've never had a bad experience.
I might wake up with a slight headache, but
Yeah. It was a slight headache. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So what am I looking for?
It's, as far as flavor goes, spice,
No, the politics of the stick. What kind of politics? Yes, the flavor.
Oh, well, I mean, as far as the flavor goes, what are you tasting so far?
now say you get to define that. You can't. No wrong answers. What's your palate say?
Mr. No Hangover.
I'm strangely enough, there is a middle end, not back end or front end, of like deep cocoa. Very like the kind that it comes in the jar. It makes me think of my grandfather back in Oklahoma, that they would make me chocolate milk with this stuff, and it was the stoutest chocolate milk I ever had.
Right.
Or hot chocolate, I should say.
Right.
And I remember going, oh, it should be the same, right? Stick your finger in, tasting like, oh. That's kind of what I get off of it, and I like it.
A little cocoa, a little earthy.
Yeah. Well, the earthy's a little masked at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How much spice you getting off of it?
Not much at all.
Yeah.
But I'm getting some good spice over this.
How's that mixing with it?
Excellent. They're yin and yang.
Mm.
It's not one's not overpowering the other.
Right.
One week we did something, and I chose the wrong libation.
Wow.
Because the libation hit in such a way that the cigar was pointless. I couldn't taste it. There was nothing about it. It was just, they didn't mix well together.
Oh, don't you hate that?
I meant to notate it and I completely forgot.
Man, I hate when that happens too. God, I hate that.
Yeah. Pairings are a big deal.
They are. They really are, man. I mean, cigars, whiskey, wine, coffee.
Relationships.
Yes. See, that's where I was going. I was going there.
So our main topic for today is
what is our topic?
Why do we have lounges at cigar shops?
Oh yeah.
So
that's a good one.
Not to be inoffensive to anybody, this is literally a comment from a guy out there. He goes, because our wives won't let us smoke at home. That's what he told me.
That's
not that I'm married, but
he's got the wrong wife.
That's true. What are you sipping on, Devin? I think I said, what were you earlier? The Piggyback. It's a rye 6-year, 96.56%.
96 point.
Called the Piggyback.
5%. Is that right?
5.6.
5.6. Sorry. Dyslexia kicked in there. Well, yeah. So as far as the lounge goes, nice. The lounge has been a safe haven, man. It's been, gosh, oh my God, that's been around for years.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You know what I think of?
Talk to me.
So I go to answer this question. Let's do the reverse. What if there were no lounges? Literally just a shop. You come in, buy the cigar, leave. You're not even allowed to smoke in it.
Right.
There are states like that.
Yeah, for sure are.
Thank God we're not one of them. What if it was like that? For those of us who have been in it, what it would be like?
Sure.
Like even the people working there couldn't smoke there.
Right.
Now, reverse engineer that.
Right. Now, so you're speaking of today's times. Okay.
1984 was an instruction manual, apparently.
Right. It could be.
It was the warnings.
The warning sign.
Right.
There's a shirt I want to get that says "Make 1984 fiction again."
Oh my God, man! What a time! Oh, what a time! God, 1980s. Don't get me started, man.
So why do we have lounges?
Believe it or not, the lounge it reaches back for a while. Anybody watch Andy Griffith? Yeah.
Bits and pieces.
You got Andy, right? Well, if you watch Andy Griffith, you'll see one of the shots that comes into play every so often that you'll see Floyd's Barbershop.
Okay.
And you'll see Floyd's Barbershop, and you'll see the guys, and they're sitting there and they're playing their checkers, and there could be one's reading the paper, maybe waiting to get his hair cut, but you'll see this particular place was a place to hang out where the guys went and
where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, pretty much.
What might be a more recent example of that, as bad as it sounds, is Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. Eddie plays everybody in the barber shop, but there's everybody, they were just a place to congregate.
It was a congregation place. And of course, back in the 1930s and 40s and the 50s and the 60s, back in that era right there, you could light up a cigarette and you could sit there and you could smoke your cigarette, you could play checkers, and it was where everybody congregated.
Yeah.
And that's really everything sort of evolved from that right there. One of the coolest lounges I've seen is up in Chattanooga. It's called Burns Tobacco. And I was a sort of a co-member of that place there. I introduced Harris to it along with Phil Windham and all of that back, Lord, in the 2000s. And walked in, and one of the coolest things I've seen that they had that I don't think that they have now is that they had 3 barber chairs in there.
Okay.
They had 3 barber chairs in there, along with an Indian motorcycle.
Oh, nice.
And it had the Cuban Cohiba paint job on it.
Yeah.
And
nice.
It was right in the middle of that, plus 3 barber's chairs with a barber waiting on you. 2 humidors. And you went in there and you got your hair cut. And you sat there and you smoked a cigar while you got your hair cut.
That sounds like a great time.
Dang Skippy.
Because I go to Sport Clips all the time, and I'm like waiting in line going, I wish I could have a cigar. I normally stand outside and tell them, I'll be outside, come get me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, so you're looking at a barbershop basically where everybody congregated so they could bring their cigarettes in there. They bring their cigars in there. At that time, my God, there were 5 cents a piece. And you're going, what? 5 cents, man, that's a lot. Yeah, I know. Was then. So it's that has evolved now into a if you will, sort of a sitting place, and where they used to have a cigarette vending machine in there.
I remember seeing those as a kid.
That?
Yeah,
I didn't know you was that old or not, but yeah, you used to have vending machines where you do that right there, and of course you'd have maybe a box of cigars, some
Van
Dutch
Dyke's
Masters,
is what I remember. Yeah.
King Edwards.
Yeah.
That right there. You could go over there and buy you a cigar for about 10, 12 cents or whatever and sit down, smoke it. And then you got all your buddies in there. And that was it. And that was the place to go. You want to play checkers. Gas station, same way. The service station, small. And you had the guys go in there and you had the checkerboard set up. And you'd go in there and you'd see people in there with cigarettes and cigars in there, and they're just puffing away, doing their own thing.
There you go.
And it has evolved now to where, well, heck fire, let's just go ahead and make a lounge here. And things have, things were good.
So sum it up. Why do we have a lounge?
Well, it's a congregation place. It's a camaraderie. It's a brotherhood now, so, you hear these guys out here, and many of you have, where you go in, you look for people, right? You look for people. You want to. Another thing is that in a lounge, a garbage man can be sitting there, and there ain't nothing wrong with garbage, dude. I'm not just saying it, but I'm trying to make a comparison. You can have a garbage man over here on this side, in this chair, and you can have a CEO in this chair, and they both got something in common.
Brothers and sisters in the league.
That's exactly right. They've got something in common to where they can talk with each other just like everybody else can, and say, okay, Hey, how was your day today? It was good. Hey, have you heard about this? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. The ball game. Well, now it's COVID. So,
It makes me think of people who are
Yeah.
who like sports.
Yeah.
Doing
Well,
kind of sports.
it's really anything, honestly. So yeah, you can
Ooh.
bring up all kinds of subjects to literally get you on the same line. And if you have the same type personalities, you hear these guys in here. Oh my God. And mine's food. So, man, oh man. I mean, I can strike up a food conversation with just about anybody.
I kind of touched on it last week, and that's why I said I started smoking cigars.
Yeah.
That's where Devin and, kind of the topic Devin and I had last week is I wanted to get out of drinking. I was afraid of getting a DUI. And I started to have cigars. And it was a place, literally, I've told people, it's just like going to the bar.
Sure is.
Usually without the women, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on my status.
Yeah, I hear you.
But you go in, you have a conversation, and I always told people, if you need something or you want something or you need advice for something, come to a cigar shop for a week.
Yeah.
You're going to find a lawyer's going to wander through, a doctor's going to wander through, a corporate executive is going to wander through, an exterminator is going to wander through, a yard guy's
one that was sitting right out there.
Yeah, a yard guy's going to wander through. We've got a guy that sterilizes buildings as a regular in a shop.
Yeah.
We've got former athletes that wander, and
Sure.
You're not going to be able to walk up to an ex-football player, at JCPenney's and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Here, everybody's on an equal playing field.
Yeah.
And the conversations are great. My earliest memories of cigar shops, and it sounds bad, but probably 8, 9 years old, walking through malls. If you remember indoor malls, one of the malls I used to go to with my grandparents.
What is a mall?
Exactly. But they had a cigar shop in it, and you could just see the smoke, and everything around it smelled like cigar smoke. But they had a big U-shaped couch set up in that, and there were always 4 or 5 guys sitting there and chatting. And it just, I don't know if that's what put it in me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes to Boston Legal. I always where you had Denny Crane and Allen sitting out every night having their scotch, reminiscing about the day.
Yep.
And that happens here almost every day. And it's just a fun thing.
I can't tell you how many deals have been closed in this place, in Vitola. And of course, you seen Scotty in here earlier. Scott was in here, and he was trying to close the deal.
It makes me think of what Oscar said at one point. He goes, a lot of major things get decided among people smoking cigars.
Doggone right.
And he goes, most major things, people are sitting down smoking cigars together.
Doggone right.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's one of the great things where a gentleman can come in and be a gentleman, and you sit down beside him and say, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Gary. Yours, Devin. Yeah." Shake your hand, and you got a bond.
Yeah,
you're good to go.
I had this guy come in, like what you were saying. He came into the Trussville store. One of the guys recommended him because he was new in town. I had no idea who he was. He was there with his wife, and he's not the normal clientele that walks in there. So I'm like, "Hey, man, what's up? It's nice to meet you."
Right on.
Still can't remember his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The guy owned a major construction business, moved it down here to build buildings in Birmingham.
Nice.
He was like a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Chillest guy.
Yeah.
Great conversation. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, Cahaba's doing a big event this weekend. You ought to show up." "Yeah, we'll see if we can."
Yeah.
I had no idea what he was about until the end of the night. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
And very great point, actually, because one of my good friends, and whom I could call right now, and he probably wouldn't answer. But anyway, and working here has been somewhat of a dynamic.
Yeah.
Because one of the guys that comes up to Vitola up there, he stands there at the counter, and man, we clicked. Man, we clicked. We were throwing back and forth. It was great. And then finally I asked him, I said, what do you do? And I told him it was my part-time gig. And he says, he backed up. It was just us two.
Yeah.
Okay. Vitola's not very packed. It's not like 280. When I ran this place was rolling. But
now John does, and it's horrible.
But no,
don't give me credit for running.
But Vitola, it's not very packed. We don't get a whole lot in there. But so it's just us two in there, right? So he sort of backs up, and he sort of shakes his head and sort of looks down and looks back at me, and he says, I'm a pro baseball player. And I said, oh God. I said, oh no, I'm just fixing to ruin this off the top. This is good. This is cream of the crop. This is foam. I'll finally get to see, I finally get to say I met somebody, because I'm not a baseball guy. And sure enough, it ends up to be a guy who's got a World Series ring.
Wow.
And we started conversation, and now he started coming in, and we're talking, and next thing you know, man, he came to my church to speak because I knew him. And we've still got a great relationship to this day. And he's retired. He's retired, and he don't deal with baseball anymore. He just does his own thing, and just a great dude. Yeah. And he comes in here every once in a while because I think he sort of does some stuff around the area.
That's cool.
But yeah, you meet all kinds of people in the lounge. Lounge is a great thing, and that's why we sort of say, if you do enjoy your lounge, try to take care of it, because there's people that come in here of all shapes, sizes, all kinds of venues. And of course, you might find a hot stock. You may find another job. You might find something else that could better your life, another career. You never know.
Yeah.
You just never know.
I got my job at the cigar place because I started coming in and gotten to know one of the ladies who worked there.
There you go.
And then when she left, she gave me the recommendation over all these other people that replied.
Oh man, I could go on and on about the stories that I've got, as far as a lounge goes, and the cigar shop, and the camaraderie and the togetherness when it comes to that. But the great thing about a lounge is that you get it. And I'm going to say this. This is politically incorrect, but I'm going to say it. A lounge has no color. It has no color.
Yeah, it really
has no color.
It supersedes all that.
It does.
And only when you actually go into one and experience it do you understand that.
That's correct.
And it really should have no sex either. It's interesting. John. Right now, we've got somebody a female in the lounge, and they treat her like one of the guys.
That's exactly right.
And that's what. And unfortunately, 90% of the time when a woman walks into a cigar shop, it's like candy. I hate to say that.
Sure.
Treat them just like you would the guy sitting next to you, and you're going to find out you're going to meet some fabulous people. If a relationship's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Right.
But you sitting there drooling on your cigar and ruining your cigar because, a woman walked in. I used to date somebody, and she would come up to the cigar shop with me all the time, and she kind of liked that attention. Gary knows her fairly well. She was kind of psycho, but it was kind of funny to see, that's the way it was. Everybody who didn't know her when she first came in, and then people got to know her, and it worked. But she would come in, and there would be somebody new, and they would, is that your girlfriend?
Well,
is that, it's unfortunate that, it
cool
should be no color, no sex, everybody, no income. Everybody's on an equal playing field.
My buddy Rick, he brings his fiance in, and they hang out with me usually on Fridays while the guys are in the back.
Yeah.
All those guys, I'm telling you, they treat her with so much respect. Like what you're talking about happens there. there's no difference.
Well, his ex, you had to treat with respect. She'd kick your tail. And the thing was it what made her on another cool level, if you will, was it, found out, she said, yeah, I used to be a Marine. And I was like, come on in.
There you go.
You have got here. Take my seat. Here you are, right here.
Well, good deal. So that's why we have a lounge, and why you should see lounges in most places.
Oh man, yeah.
Because it's a community event, just like you used to sit down and chill out for a while. Now you sit down and chill out with cigars. And
at Vitola, the manager over there, Jim, a great dude. God, what a good dude, man. And Jim's got about an IQ of about 140. He does he does calculus just as a hobby. You know, I found just, you know, just scribble of stuff on the counter over there. And I'm like, that's freaking calc.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
just
like,
figured out time travel.
well,
It's
yeah,
fine.
right.
I'll throw it away.
You know, and but Jim has a chess set in the back there.
Yeah,
and they
chess
will,
set at Trussville all the time.
there you go.
Yeah.
And man, they'll sit back there and they will wear it out.
I've had conversations with Jim on 3-dimensional chess and the Star Trek chess sets, and which are multi-tiered.
Really,
and, you know,
that's
a fascinating guy. But he's working in works in a cigar shop.
Yeah,
everybody who works here pretty much works here because we want to. We're
Correct.
not no offense or anything. We're not the best paid people in the world.
Correct.
We're, you know, we get a little bit of abuse. It's sometimes a thankless job, but when it comes down to the people make it fun. It's just like a car club. You know, the cigars brought us together. The people keep us coming back.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
I mean,
right.
honestly, I use the same mentality with my Discord channel.
Mm.
It's like, I want you here, but you don't want to be here. I don't want you here.
Right. Right.
And we sit down, talk about games and stuff like it's the same principle.
Yeah.
And when we brought up this topic, Devin, I said something this morning and you wanted to hear my explanation. Do you remember what that was?
No, I don't.
I am a firm believer cigar lounges shouldn't have TVs in them.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Oh, I like
So
that.
real quick, because we do need to start wrapping it up.
I
I
know.
like that.
Tell me about why you think cigar lounges shouldn't have TV.
I like that.
Everything we just said.
Yeah.
Right now, when you have these TVs, many people come in here, sit down, light a cigar, and watch TV.
Right.
Guess what? You can do that at home. You're
Yeah.
taking up a seat for somebody who wants to have a conversation.
Yeah.
This is a place that we should
Interesting.
come to
Yeah.
to converse and socialize. Cigars are a social tool.
Interesting.
They're not a habit. They're not, you know, they're not something we have to do. We want to do it. Yes, there's the few people that need to come here to smoke because they can't smoke at home and they don't have
Right.
another place. But still, that's part of what you've got to pay is you should be able to sit down. But with the TVs, we have more arguments over what's on TV
Yes.
than we do between people.
we were
We
watching
have-
the game on Friday, and a guy, I'm up in front. They have all those guys in the back on Monday. Guy comes walking back. We're having good conversation up front, not about the game. And I still have the game running on the TV in the front. And the guy walks back and he goes, "Man, there's too many coaches back there."
Well, the Patton Creek shop is basically a big room, and then there's kind of a little alcove off to the side. It's got a little fireplace with a TV above it. I've noticed when I work there, guys go into the big room and kind of watch TV and converse a little bit. The guys that come in to talk sit in that little alcove,
Mhm.
and they don't care if that TV's on or
Mhm.
not.
Yeah.
You want to talk about business getting conducted?
Right.
It happens in that between those two chairs and that little
Yeah.
sofa.
Yeah.
The old 280 shop, you had the lounge in the back, and the front was set up to be a little bit more of a lounge also. And I used to like to sit up with Gary. I realized how much I probably annoyed him come close or something.
Always.
But
Always.
but we would get groups of people up there, and you know what happened there? We talked.
Yeah.
We conversed. I talked
wow.
about flying lessons,
God,
you know,
yes.
talked about buying airplanes, you know, just whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, but there was no TV there, nothing to distract us.
Yeah.
I just think it would be a little bit different clientele, a little different climate,
Sure.
but I think it would be
I can see that
step improved.
Yeah.
Your description of it, I can see that
You
now
know,
because I did not understand it when you said that. I'm like, what?
I'm not going to object to like championship game Monday.
Oh,
Okay.
sure.
We drop the
Super
screen
Bowl.
and we play it.
Yeah.
The big game, World Series,
Right. Yeah.
any of that stuff.
Final Four.
Yeah. People
Sure.
want to come and have fun and
Sure.
eat and do. Guess what? They're still socializing,
Right.
but we don't need to sit down and watch Days of Our Lives or anything like that. You know, one of the most popular TV show in a cigar shop is How It's Made.
Oh
If
yeah,
you remember that,
love that show.
can be in any language. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, they tell you something, but that's because people can come in, watch it really quick, and get on with their business,
Yeah.
or get on with a conversation, or it sparks a conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
But sitting out here and watching Family Feud for 3 hours,
Yeah, I'm good.
no.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, when it comes to stuff like that right there, when it comes to lounges and doing stuff along those areas right there, it has another dimension It does. And if you ever get a chance to, come in and you'll always meet someone who's interesting but you'll also meet someone who's annoying.
Yep. I know. We see Gary all the time.
That's right. So yeah, they ran me off from this place. Get out of here.
Well,
So,
good deal.
But yeah.
So where are we going to see you next, Gary? What store are you working next?
I'll be at Vitola Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be at Vitola this Saturday and next Saturday, giving Jim some time off there. I had,
He doesn't need it.
yeah.
That's right. What about you, John? Where are you going to be?
I will be here this coming Sunday and then every Thursday. I'm here Thursday all the way up to the podcast.
Come see us.
And then I will be at the Trussville store tomorrow
Bing.
for late night Fridays at Trussville, Gadsden Highway. Show up. We usually get out of there. The earliest is 11 o'clock. Latest is 1 to 2.
I meant to say one more thing about a lounge too, is that, you got late night Friday, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've got food, you got drink,
BYOB.
yeah, and you got conversation.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's one thing I dig. And I will bring something Saturday. I ain't got a clue what yet, but I'll be bringing something.
Well, Trussville's like that too. There's no TV up front.
There is.
There is.
Yeah, there's one right next to the humidor up in the corner. It's really small.
It's a little obedient thing
see,
up there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
5 chairs up front, 4 chairs.
That's one thing that Harris, oh my God, Harris used to get so mad about, is because back before you got here, he had an issue of people just dragging chairs up there in front and just sitting around this big. And I mean, you'd have 10 guys up there, and Harris is going, we got this big lounge back there. But it was because of the TVs. Yeah. To be honest with you,
Harris is. We're not saying TVs are leaving any of the cigars anymore. They're established. But Harris is a big one. He doesn't like the volume up, which really helps. I give him credit for that. But I always got people asking me about that. And like 3 weeks ago, I finally said, Rocky was here with me, and I said, why the heck don't we have the closed captioning turned on? So I turned the closed captioning on every TV. I have not had a TV turned up since.
There you go.
So interesting. I'll have to do that.
Big time.
It's nice and quiet. We have conversation and
yeah.
But
all right, y'all. Well, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for being here. We'll be here next Thursday.
Yeah.
Buy some LFDs. We have a ton of stock of it.
Yes. Come get some LFDs. And
no Anna Lucia Bulls.
No Anna
But when we're doing the
Bulls.
show, no Anna Lucia Bulls in stock. Okay. We burned through the few boxes they sent.
Oh, darn.
So thanks, everybody.
Yeah,
no pun intended there either.
Those that don't want your Bitcoin, we're here. Come give it to us. We'll be fine.
Or come buy it in any of the cigars, Cigars and Mortar, Vitola locations.
We've got a machine over there now where you can literally buy your Bitcoin.
We're not laughing. They really are here.
Yeah, don't listen to him. He loves it.
No.
He loves it.
He was feeding the thing.
He thought it was a game.
You can even buy gold on it. It says that you can buy real gold. I'm not sure where it dispenses. We're going to figure that out later. But
he was still looking for the joystick on top of it.
That's right.
Wasn't there. Anyway.
Well, I think we're looking good, y'all.
Well, okie dokie. I was wondering where that come from. Wait a minute now.
So thank you guys, everybody, and we'll see you next time here in the My Father Lounge in studio. We'll see you next time. And remember, to smoke is human, my friend.
And to smoke is a good cigar is
divine.
Indeed.
We'll see you next time.
Till next time. Come see us.
Next time.